Hello, everyone. Back for another amazing episode. I am sure today's episode is going to be amazing because I have my special guest, Diana Castro, with me. And I know she is a video pro, a video expert, video producer, video strategist, and a brand new friend and colleague of mine. I'm looking forward to getting to know her more on this episode and to showcasing her wonderful work with you all on the show today. Welcome, Diana.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you for being here. Can you start us off by sharing with us anything you want to share about your backstory and what got you to this point today?
I work with my husband. We're a small but mighty video production company, and our mission is to amplify the visibility and impact of those who are here to do good in the world, to bring more awareness to vitality and health and wealth and love and connection and anything that helps us grow and expand our human experience. So we we work with coaches and leaders and thought provokers that know that they have a mission and vision to share with the world, and that are unapologetically owning that right and want to use the power of video to do that. And I don't know since when you want me to start, but this has been my mission, I guess, forever. I just was not truly, fully aware of it until like about 7 years ago. We've had our business for 10, 11 years this year. Um, Before it was more of like um, doing video content, which has always been my jam, but not really knowing the ideal person per se. It was just more of like I have fun with video ever since I was little. I knew that it was something that called me. I wanted it to be an actress, and my dad was like, "You're not going to be kissing boys all day long. Like, that's not like, I'm not bringing up a girl who's going to be kissing boys. So you better figure something different." And I discovered the behind the scenes of the world behind video, and I was automatically head over heels. Like, to be in a medium that hugs all of the arts and that supports this hunger of mine to learn and learn and learn about more things and more things, and to be able to create from nothing. It's like anything from nothing creation is just like the most magical thing on the universe. And that was my beginning. I married someone in the field. He is a technical director, and he has all of the technical side of things, which is a beautiful part of video. I know how to do it. I don't enjoy it as much, but what I love to do, he doesn't enjoy doing, which is a perfect like thing for both of us. We both complement each other, and we've been doing this forever. And I hope I do it like until the last breath that I have, because I find it to be fun and exhilarating, and a powerful medium to do good in the world.
That's an amazing introduction and life statement and work statement. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I am curious, have you always been expressive?
Yes, ever since I know I have awareness of myself, yes, for sure. Very much
And
part of my DNA.
okay, okay, wonderful. And how do you help others that you work with, your clients or other people in your life, to nurture that part of themselves? Because I know a lot of people may not feel exactly in touch with that part of themselves.
And so it's first becoming aware of what feels expansive in their body. I also agree that n- this medium is not necessarily for everyone, in the sense that if it doesn't feel energy rich for some people, then there's so many other mediums that they could tap into, like writing or blogging or podcasting or whatever allows them to feel comfortable in their skin. But for me, it's just an invitation to explore what's in the other side of their fear, and without judgment, without expectation. It's just more of like um, an invitation to do things that allows them the power to make an impact, because some people that's more important to them. So if it's kind of like asking them the right questions of what they value and honoring that for each individual. I think that that's kind of how I especially for self-expression. So
So really digging deep and finding what is meaningful to them, you find is helpful to get them to
yes,
be more expressive and to be more comfortable there.
100%. Yes, yes, yes.
What is your theory about what might make many people feel like they need to keep that on the down low or not so brilliantly expressed in the world? What holds people back?
In my opinion, sometimes it's fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's a fear of judgment. Sometimes it's the fear of being seen. Sometimes, I mean, it could be so many different things for so many different people. And fear is just information. And when they're able to kind of tap into, okay, like what is this telling me, and work through that without judgment, I think that that's the most, when people feel comfortable and they feel secure and they feel safe, that allows them to show up differently. And for me, that's the most important thing. Again, I do believe that video is one of the most powerful means in the world, but I also believe that there's people who maybe their gift is in writing, and that's how they show up, like they show up way better than they would do in video. And if that's their thing, then like, how do we tap into that? Maybe there's a way of doing video where it's just the written word, and like, there's so that's the beautiful part about video, that it doesn't, it's not confined to one thing. It could be anything. So how can they take their passion and what they're good and how they shine the most and leverage it in a way that is explosive, and that magnifies their message. Yeah, that to me is the most important thing.
Okay, beautiful. And so important, I think, with video being accessible to everyone. It really is an option now in short form, very quick form on TikTok, but also in much more substantial ways, I think, right? Long form video, um, getting on stage, doing the full presentation of your work. Very, there's so many different
It
avenues
could
of
look
access.
like, yeah, that's a beauty. It could look like, this karaoke videos where you can read the words. It could be with kinetic writing. It could be with people just singing poetry. It could be so many different ways. And that's the thing, that people don't know what they don't know until they have the opportunity to peek inside of the other side of what could be possible. And while still honoring the way they feel, and gradually probably overcome whatever is stopping them, or not necessarily, or just, you know ride the wave as best as they feel more comfortable. So that's the beauty of it, that it could shape into the form of their liking.
I love how you respect the person who is in front of the camera. You respect where they are, where they might be afraid, and where they can grow into. And I love that about your style. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am curious for your own business development and journey, what kind of hesitations did you have to face along the way? You've been in this business for at least 10 years, and we both know that business has its up and down moments. Can you share with us some of the parts that were a little bit more difficult for you?
Yes. So I've been doing this since I'm 20 and I'm 40. So I've been doing this for 20 years of my life, independently with my husband, with our own company about 11 years ago. And during this 11 years, I feel like the business aspect of things, I 100% agree with the statement that being in business as an entrepreneur is a spiritual journey. It's a journey of facing your own demons. It's a journey of continuous growth. It's a journey of self discovery, and throughout this whole time, the journeys of not really knowing who we were for, of not honoring our own gifts, like just thinking that because it's easy for us is not valuable. So for me, a lot of like not knowing how to quote properly, or to feel that yeah, like the part of the deal making, it didn't come very easy to me. For me, my strengths are in creation and ideation and teaching, and I'm more towards the creation. It's mainly my biggest strength. So the sales portion of things did not feel very easy to me. Not necessarily the conversation of it, but like the closing of it, like asking for the sale and like understanding like how to drive people into a funnel, and like all the technicalities of creating a sales system. Like that did not come easy. It was not like, like for some people it's like, oh, that's like the simplest thing. For me particularly, it was not the easiest thing. And navigating that with my husband, that he believed in this dream that I had of doing our own business. We left corporate because we felt like we were dying, like our soul was definitely feeling suffocated. And he joined me trusting that the dream that I have was going to be true. And it has been, but not without like, oh, not being able to pay the mortgage for 5 months, and like almost losing the house, and having just $10.20 in the bank at some point, and having to ask my mom for money, and like all of that fun part of business that a lot of people don't talk about, because if it can feel very shameful for some. But like it's been a journey of self-discovery, and I couldn't have done it without my husband by my side. Like, it could have been a lot easier to just drop everything and find another job and find something, but he stood by my side, and he still is by my side, like, as we grow and continue to nurture, because this to me is not a job. This to me is like, this is part of my mission on earth. This is how we create legacy. This is what I believe in. This is my life. So yeah, I don't know which how deeper, if you have like additional, like more in-depth questions, but it's been a journey of learning, to value our work, to see value, because in my experience, what was true to me is that because things came very easy to me, I I feel kind of guilty for charging for them. Like I remember one time we were sitting with a group of entrepreneurs, and this girl who I knew from other social, business networking events was sitting in the table, and she was kind of sharing how she was struggling with her business and to put certain things together. And I kept asking her questions, and then like I one of my gifts is like to put the dots, like to kind of like connect the dots on things, and come up with something visual that would represent, like to synthesize something that for some could be complex. To me, that's I my world, I can see it through images and sound. Like I translate everything through images in my brain, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, but that's so simple. And I started to tell her, like, so this connected with this, and I was telling her how to like put it together. And a friend of mine who was sitting next to me, who knew like our struggle, this was like, whoa, whoa, wait, you're giving her like the whole strategy for free. And I was like, yeah, but it doesn't cost me anything. Like I was just like, "Yeah, but that's like easy." And she stopped the lady, and she's like, if you want the end of whatever she's telling you, you're gonna have to pay her, because that what she's giving you is gold. She's like, how many years have you been struggling with this? And the girl was like, She's like, oh, well, like, I think it was like 3 years. And she's like, well, she just made it into like a 3 minute thing and she gave it to you. And at that moment, I had like this huge aha that something that comes really easy to me doesn't necessarily comes easy to other people. Like, to me was like as easy as breathing. Like, I'm a storyteller. I create stories. I make complex things simple, and I didn't value my own gift because it was easy to me. So that's I think one of the things that I invite others that may be struggling with within their business, is that sometimes we can tend to not value our gifts because it comes easy to us, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy for others. And
Yes.
that's why we need each other. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. We need feedback. We need our friends. We need coaches, great coaches. We need our partners. Yes. We need others to see, to help us see the value and the impact of our work sometimes as well too. I'm so glad that you've successfully made that journey and that you're thriving as a result too. Because not charging for your gifts is really not going to get anyone anywhere, really.
It's not. And like realizing, having people to give us that feedback of like, but that wasn't easy for me. It took me forever to figure that out. And like, that's powerful to, like, yeah, to have people to kind of hold us accountable to our own worth. That's powerful.
Yes, I agree. You mentioned the word legacy, and my ears perked up, and I'm really curious what you mean by that and how you help your clients and customers build their legacy, secure their legacy. What does that all mean for you?
Oh my God, that's a hot topic. And I'll tell you, I believe that video is this time capsule that allows us to not only copy paste ourselves into a digital medium that could be played over and over and over and over again, but I also imagine a world where my great 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 grandkids could look back at all the content that I've created and they could get a sense of who I was. That my memory could live forever just because I took a leap of faith and I recorded my thoughts and I recorded my teachings, um and to me, is how do I want to be remembered is usually what comes after the word legacy. Like, how do you want to be remembered? And my thoughts on how I see the world and where I see beauty and how I see value, and in a world that feels sometimes can feel overwhelming and full of bad news, what people like me who have access to a medium like video, um, and the access to leaders, and how do I become bigger than myself? Like, when I work with clients that, for example, I work with someone who supports women who have lost a loved one, or with the power of grief. I don't just do video. I help. I also become part of that mission because I get to influence of how the message is packaged, and so it's bigger than just myself. And and for me, video is that powerful legacy component in a world where now everything is digital. In a world where in the future people might be able to visit you at a grave and put like and activate a chip that will have you talking to them, and can have like, messages of you. How could we provide the content for that? So yeah, video is like, as I sometimes tell my clients, like, we are able to see who Walt Disney was because he created video, and we're mesmerized about who he was and what he did, and that could be you, and that is me. And yeah, how can we live forever, uh, and make sure that we ensure that our passage through this short lifespan matters, that it could transcend time. And that's why I'm so in love with video. That's why I feel um, it's part of a bigger picture.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard the process thinking of a visionary thinker, someone who can really think beyond the current confines of space and time. And I loved hearing that and seeing that on video myself as I'm looking at Diana as she's processing all of this. Thank you, Diana, for that. Now I'm going to ask if you could share what video has done for any of your favorite clients, what the impact has
Oof.
been. If you can and are permitted to do so,
How
I would
much
love
time do
to.
you have?
Just a few minutes, but I would love to hear a couple stories.
um okay. My second client when I went into business, her name is Maria Marin. She's a Spanish, like she's in the world of the Hispanic influencing world. And when she came to us, she had an idea. She didn't really know how to execute on that idea. And I kind of interviewed her. I took all of the information and we created a show called El Empujoncito de Maria Marin, like the push, the little push from Maria Marin. And through the time that we were working with her, we were able to get the 100,000 plaque from YouTube. But beyond that, as of right now, she has over 10 million followers in Facebook alone, and then she has like over 500,000 people on YouTube, and she makes a living out of being an influencer, which is not necessarily the core of who I attract, but she was like my second client. And she's been able to create a living out of monetizing her brilliance. She's a star personality. She loves entertaining people. She loves to um, make people laugh and all of this fun stuff. And that's just one example. She does what she loves. And then another example that comes to mind is I have a podcast called Leaders with a Mission. And I invited one of someone that was in my BNI group at that time, and we did the video podcast, and he published it, and he got a call from someone in Panama to do a job for him just because of they saw the show. And like this, I have calls from clients that are screaming like, somebody watched our video and they called us to be on MSNBC, and like that's like the cherry on top. Like that's such a full, like that, it feels like we're doing our job. I get to celebrate with my clients that their message was seen, beyond their things. Like I remember going to a Chase business event, and someone got close to me and they were like, oh my god, I watched your show. And I was like, I don't even know who they are. I felt like a pop star, I guess. It was a really weird feeling that somebody like they came up to me and they're like, I know you don't know me, but I know you. I watched all of your content. Please don't stop doing it. It it just it's a good feeling to know that it's not just my mom watching my videos.
I think there's a lot more people than just your mom watching your video, with all respect to your lovely mom.
It's like, mom, you have to watch my video. Just make sure you like it and share it. Yeah, beyond like my sister and my mom. But yeah, definitely feeling like it resonates. Like the vibration of my message is getting further and further and further. And yeah, it feels amazing, and it makes me really aware of what am I putting out in the world, and yeah, basically.
Beautiful. Now I would like to ask, I had one more question. It just escaped my mind though. Uh, how do you work with your clients? Because I know it sounds like a lot of it is just natural and fluid and easy for you. What is your style and process with your clients? That's my question.
Ooh, that's fun. So I'm a teacher as well, in a sense. Like, I love learning from people, and I have like a thirst for curiosity and understanding how things work. So the first thing we do in order for me to be able to support someone in their content amplification journey, is to tap into their brain. Like, I want to connect to the motherboard and I want to know everything. So in this journey of me understanding who you are and what you do and who you're for and like what are your packages and how do you is like kind of me plugging in into what's important to you and getting clarity. And a lot of this then gives my clients clarity because they sometimes they have not been asked certain questions, and um, they get to declutter their message so that they can be more effective. And that is a win-win because it allows me to understand the big vision that they have, and it allows me to guide them through that process of what is serving them, what is not serving them, what could be phase one, phase two, phase three. um, and then once we know that, then we plan out the filming of things. I One of the main packages that I currently have is that we create content for the entire year. I tell people, give me 5 days of your life and we'll have content for the entire year and we'll do everything for you. All you have to do is show up. So they show up for me to download their brain. They show up to film the content and to get, feedback on how they're presenting their content, because we coach our clients through that process. And then we edit, like we send them the branding structure of how the video looks like and everything, and then we do the posting for them. And then we rinse and recycle however we see that the content is working. Um, and it's very, for me, is very much going deep into the soul of the business, and then from there we look at the world outside on how the world is asking for their content, and based on that, kind of like it determines the remaining of the journey. But yeah, I hope that that answers your
That's a
question.
very wonderful, very specific description of the magical process that you put your clients through. I'm sure it's a great relief for your clients to be able to work with someone like you who really cares about getting at the meat of the mission and the truth of the mission, and then simplify it enough so that it's actually absorbed by everyone who might be looking for that person or not even knowing that they're looking for that person. That's beautiful.
Yes. Yes,
Beautiful.
yes, yes. I do tell them that, like, for example, we're very selective to who we work with because I know that um, not everyone is ready. Even though they might be a great candidate, it might not be the right season for them. So for me, it's important to know how they are energetically in that state. Like, there's people that are taking on everything, like they want to do podcasts and but they're draining their energy and they're coming from a depleted space. And I truly believe that everything that we create gets absorbs the energy from our creation. So if we're coming from a place of depletion and resentment because we're doing all of this to dos but nothing is working, like if it's from the energy of I have to do this, then it may not be the right season for them to do that work, especially because it asks a lot from you, and that's what you're going to put out in the world. So for me, understanding what are the motivations their of their work, because I'm going to work with them for an entire year. Like, I know that the work that we do is so important. And I want to answer the phone like happy that I get to talk to you, not like, oh my god, this is the 10th time I'm trying to call you and you don't answer. And like, because it can get like that if the person is not in the right energetic, if we may say that. um yeah, if we're tapping into the wrong timing in the journey, then I want people to be aware of how their energy is, of how energy rich they are when they're in that creation mode, because that's what we're putting out in the world. And I want them to know that that is something that's going to stay there for a long time, and that's their legacy. So treating it as such is my job to be leading them to that promised land. So
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for showing us your visionary talents today and making us very, very excited about showing up on video. The next time any of us get on video, we're going to be thinking of you. And I want to thank you again for being on the show today. Can you tell us how we can stay in touch with you and or start the process of working with you?
so you can find me with at forproductions.com. That's FOR productions with an S at the end.com. And all of my social medias are basically under that at for productions. And there is a tab inside of my website that is free tools, and they get to check out free trainings or free assets that I've created for people in their video journey. And yeah, they can check us out, and if they want to ask me more about how we can work together, they get to schedule a consultation call, and we can take it from there.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. We're kissing each other over the screen. And I'm just so grateful to have had the chance to meet you in this way. It was really, really fun. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and receive a huge hug from the distance. I really appreciate the thoughtfulness and all the beautiful questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you in return. All right, my dear listeners, now I hope you're inspired and please share your comments and feedback for Diana on her Instagram for productions and give her some love too. And a hug right back to you, Diana. And thank you everyone for being here and supporting the Make Time for Success podcast. If you would please leave a positive rating and review for the show, I would so appreciate that so we can get this legacy show of mine to the ears of more listeners. I'll see you next week when the next episode drops. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.